So today we're going to talk about dedicated applications. I am your host. My name is Holly Reif. I'm with the Provider Relations UDAT team. And what we're going to do today is just a brief overview of what a dedicated application is. Oh, wait. How to authorize the assistive technology service for dedicated applications and meet one of our dedicated application contracted providers. So that is on our agenda for today. So what are dedicated applications? Dedicated applications are an app. So think about them the way you go to your own Google Play Store or your Apple App Store, and you find apps to put on your device that can help you with daily tasks and are available to all users. The really cool thing about a lot of those applications is that they can support individuals both in their home and in their community. So we're keeping that consistent support across all of their environments, which really help learn and teach some of those skills. So the other great things about applications is that they're very specific. Not two applications ever do the same thing, which is one of the reasons why in assistive technology we don't use bids, because it's really hard to compare two different applications that do similar things but not quite the same. Dedicated applications are available under our assistive technology waiver definition, which is available in all 4 of our HCBS waivers. There is a specific code for it. As we've said before, there should be no naked A9999 codes. All assistive technology codes require a modifier, and the modifier for dedicated applications is UC, part of the assistive technology services, as there's typically a monthly fee with dedicated apps. Everyone's got that 99-cent app that they get charged for every month or that they've purchased outright, but there is usually a monthly fee for it. As I said before, there is no bids. It'd be really hard. I was trying to find a number for this lunch and learn today, and the closest number I found was that there's 1,600 applications released each day for each platform. So that's 1,600 for Google, 1,600 for Apple. There is no way that any one person can keep up with all of those and be able to compare them the way that we would with a bathroom modification, for example. So what if you find a dedicated application and we don't have a contractor for it? Well, we have support through Missouri Assistive Technology, and you can find them at at.mo.gov, and you can try out different applications. If you're working with a contracted provider, you can also utilize their device loan program and get an iPad preloaded with some applications that you think might be helpful to increase your independence or skills set that you need in your daily life. And then you can try them out, and then you can purchase them through Missouri Assistive Technology and the device too, if you need it. So now I'm going to move on, and I'm going to let Jill from Map Habit take over and show you more about her dedicated application, Map Habit. So Jill.
Hi everybody. Can you let me
I'm going to make you a presenter.
Perfect.
So that you can share your screen if you need to. Oh, there you go.
Perfect. Perfect. Thank you very much. Hi everybody. How are you guys doing? Let's see here. Give me one.
I'm good. It's Valentine's Day. I got this big giant balloon. It's awesome.
That's awesome. So my daughter's birthday is on the 12th of February every year. So Valentine's Day is very much a part of our world. So so for those of you I haven't met, my name is Jill Reffett. I work with Map Habit. I also want to introduce Jane Alexander and Jackie Powell, who are on as well. You guys may be familiar with them. So they joined our team a few months ago and have been helping us out to support specifically Missouri and then to grow our reimbursement impact. So Map Habit is an application that supports really independence and supports a variety of skills development areas. So I wanted to share a little background so that you understand how I got here to help put that into place of how we see Map Habit working for the IDD population. So I joined Map Habit about 2 years ago, but I first started with Map Habit as a parent of two individuals with my oldest daughter here is on the right with Down syndrome and autism, and my youngest daughter here on the left has Down syndrome, ADHD, and reactive attachment disorder. So the two of them, you may recall during 2020, we were schooling from home, not doing it well. We were failing at schooling from home. And we joined a study with a group called LuMind, who focuses on Alzheimer's and individuals with Down syndrome. And they were doing this study with this place called Map Habit. And I will be fully transparent. We went into that study thinking, why not fail at one more thing? We are failing at schooling at home. What the heck? And so we really came into it from that perspective and got involved with using the app. And the team was so supportive. And that's the thing I got to brag about. Our team wants to make sure that the users are successful. So when you engage this, our team doesn't just go, you bought an app on the App Store, see you later. We really honestly want to engage with you more than you probably want to engage with us. Our favorite thing to do is support individuals and their families on, which maps are the best for them and how to use that. And that's what the team did with us. My oldest had hit puberty. There was the pandemic. She developed scoliosis. There was a lot going on, and she had massively regressed in the area of toileting. I'm going to totally overshare. Any of you who know me know that that's a natural strength of mine is to overshare. But it works well for work for the first time ever. But going to overshare that toileting had really hit the fan in a hard way. She'd always only been time trained. But when puberty hit, we just saw that back regressed dramatically. So we started using the Map Habit system, utilizing all the premises of visual supports that we already knew were best practice, right? So I'm sure everybody on this call is like, right, I'm supposed to be using visual supports. That's the key, right? Supposed to be using visual supports because visual supports are hard to work into your everyday life. And so the whole intent of Map Habit is to make that not so hard. And so we started using the Map Habit system. We built out a map for toileting, being on time, keeping toileting going, and then also a map for if she had an accident, toileting cleanup. So for about 3.5 weeks, every time it was time for toileting, she used her map. We used it with her. We supported her to do that. Every time she had an accident, we used the map to clean it up, supported her through that cleanup. About week 4 at 2 o'clock in the morning, she came in and she brought me a bag of soiled garments. She had had an accident and she cleaned it up herself. And she was proud as punch, you guys. And it gets me every time I tell this story because she was so proud. And it was a moment that I realized we hadn't been giving her those opportunities to be independent and that she needed that opportunity, but we had to give her the tools to do it. And so, sorry, I always have to get it together for a second. She was so proud. And that next morning we woke up and we doubled down. So they're now 13 and 11. I have to remember how old everybody is. 13 and 11, and they get up every morning and make their own breakfast. So dual diagnosis of Down syndrome and autism, child with Down syndrome and impulse control with ADHD. They make their own breakfast, you guys. They're doing their own laundry. That is terrible, by the way. I just want you to know. I have some sweaters that no longer fit me, but they're doing their own laundry. It's my fault if a piece of my laundry gets into their stuff because they dry everything. Everything is washed and dry for them. It's just been literally life-changing for us. So through that process of the study, and I was like, how do we make sure that every family who needs this has an opportunity to access this application? And that's when I spoke with Matt, our CEO and founder, and came to work for Map Habit. And that's where we jumped on. We found Holly. We became started looking at like how do we get on waiver programs? How do we make sure that families who can't pay for this out of pocket have that opportunity? And so I just want to tell you guys, the state of Missouri has been wonderful to work with. We are so appreciative. I'm going to totally digress. That is also my jam for anybody who knows me. I'm going to share with you. I'm going to attempt to share with you my iPad screen. If I can't, I will show you a video of the actual app itself. Bear with me 1 second. Maybe. It does not want to find it on there. Sometimes some applications don't play that well with us to do that piece. I apologize. Okay, I will show you a video instead. It will just walk through what the app looks like. So essentially just any tablet or any phone, this is what the application can go on. And we have templates, a store of templates. We always said we had about 750 templates. I think we're now up to a little over 1,300 templates. So what's a template? A template is a map that's been created and built out. And so we have things, shaving, brushing your teeth. I mean, we have a million different ways for folks to brush their teeth, of support graduated exposures for those who are trying to access dental care, and graduating and walking them through that. How to use the break room at work, how to do different job skills. So a million ways you can use the application. That we have those pre-made templates that you can absolutely use as they are. We also work with you as part of our funding is to support you in customizing those maps. So we know with our population that when we use pictures of our individuals, we use videos of our individuals, they are going to be more likely to utilize that map. And so we want to work with you to do any customizations that need to happen as well. That sounds super complicated. And I am way overcomplicating it because I'm telling you, it's so user-friendly. I don't know if Jane and Jackie can jump in, but I always love Jane's always like, if I can use it, anybody can use it. And so she will always share that part. So it always makes me giggle when she says it. So let me share this little piece real quick. This is not as good as seeing the app in real life, but it'll give you an overview. So this is a map that we created for helping somebody through the school day routine. So knowing what that school day is going to look like, doing that pre-exposure for a map. Here, just talking with helping someone, helping a caregiver, particularly in this situation, for our older adults with how to do like hand over hand for mapping. It's going to show where you can build in video and audio. Maybe.
Gather all dirty laundry into basket.
So every single map can incorporate, so a map, when I talk about a map is a visual schedule or a task analysis that may have, 3 to 30 steps. And so on each individual step in a map, you can build in audio and you can build in video. So a lot of times we have things where you can show a video. So we have an application that you can use a video to show how to work through a task, but that's kind of the only way you can break it out. And for a lot of our individuals, watching an entire video of a skill isn't enough of a breakout. So this allows you to customize that to the individual and how much they have to break that out. So for instance, for Rayleigh, her toilet and cleanup map is about 27 steps long. And I think we have 7 videos in those 27 steps. So like, things like tying the bag, the bag of soiled garments, like to tie. So she needs that reminder of how do I tie? So we can have written out directions. Rayleigh does read, but if her focus is on reading, her focus is not going to be on the task. So because we want her focused on the task and not on reading, we can build in that video and audio to follow those steps in that direction. But if you have a more capable reader who just needs those written out directions, right on. So you can use a picture and just have those written out directions. So it's really completely customizable to the individual. There's a chat feature within it where everybody in the circle of support can be invited and they can chat amongst themselves. So things like Susie's having a bad day. I found that using the transition map was successful today. Can be things where you can share between parents and DSPs, paras, whoever that might be in that circle of support who needs that HIPAA compliant chat situation. We all know that people are using our phones to text back and forth and we shouldn't be. And so this gives you that opportunity to keep that within that system in a safe place. The other part for us is consistency. So no matter who it is that's working with our girls, they're using the same language. So when you think about, go right now after we get off here, not yet, and tell somebody how to write the letter W. And then go to somebody else and ask them to tell you how to write the letter W. And I guarantee you all will do just enough the same that you could write a letter W. But if you're an individual with IDD and every single person told you how to write the letter W different, that inconsistency can be very challenging. So how do we help to keep consistency across every single person who interacts with our individuals every day? Because we know that consistency is important. The other place I find is that my mom doesn't always love to do things the same way that I would like the girls to do them. So when the app is telling both her and my girls how to do the activity, it's not Jill telling her, it's the app telling her. And you take away that, some of you may be familiar with this generational changes, but also from my husband to myself to the para at school to the teacher at school, across everybody, we're doing the same steps and the same processes. Jackie and Jane, are you on there? What have I missed? Scheduling and notifications. I know that piece. So you can schedule each of these maps for the day. So you can schedule it out as much as you need to, and you can set notifications. This is my favorite part. When you schedule a map, the individual themselves gets an automatic notification that they have a skill coming up, or they have a map coming up, or you see on this map that's on the screen, those notifications, that means they have things that they've missed through the day and they need to go back and catch up with some things that they missed. But the thing I love as a part of the circle of support is I can set those notifications that if my girls don't do something, I can get a notification. Not that they need to do something. I mean, you can set if they need to do something, but we're working on independence. I want them to do it themselves. So if they don't brush their teeth, I get a notification. If they do brush their teeth, I get nothing, because they did the skill that they're working on that is removing me from that process. I'm at a million miles an hour, you guys, because I'm always so worried I'm going to run out of time and then I'm short. Jane and Jackie, are you there?
I'm here, Jill. It's Jackie. I think you did a great job covering the most basic things of the app.
Thank you. I was trying to think if I missed anything. Let me look over here at this presentation. Anybody have questions? I'm gonna pop this up, guys, to see. So this is a little bit of another view of the app itself. These are the activities of daily living and transition and areas that we work on with individuals and that we see individuals using the application with. We cross over from IDD and neurodiversity to Alzheimer's and dementia, are the kind of the broad swath of individuals that we work with. Here's a better view. So the other piece that I did miss is each of these maps can also be exported out to a PDF that can be printed. So if you have individuals in your circle who are just not going to do an application or they don't love technology, you can print it out in a PDF format that they can follow those steps as well.
The other thing that I would add, Jill and
Mhm.
everybody, is that our application, you can have as many people on the team as you want. It's one fee, so you can have, 2 or 3 people on it, up to seriously as many as you want. Like the school can be on it, parents can be on it, family members, friends at school. So it's wide open to allowing a lot of people to participate in this and communicate with each other.
Yes, that was a great point, Jackie. I did miss that piece of talking about that circle of support. So the subscription itself is for the individual, and then they can invite anybody they want to in that circle of support. So if that's mom, that's dad, that's the para, that's the DSP, that's the therapist, whoever it might be, job coach, in that circle that they need to invite to be a part of that circle and support them in that process. Holly, you've seen this presentation a million times. What did I miss?
So we do have a question, and so Amy, we currently this is available through the waivers in Missouri. However, Jill also lives in Kansas. So Jill, how can a Kansas parent or participant possibly get access to Map Habit? Or
Yes. So we're in the process of becoming a part of the two MCOs that support Kansas. So the Aetna and the Sunflower slash my brain's gonna Centene of the two groups that support the Kansas individuals who are on a waiver. If you're not on a waiver, either way, reach out to me and we'll drop my contact information in, because we do have processes here in Kansas that we can get you connected with. If that was all clear as mud. And let me see if I stop the share, I think I can see the chat again. There we go.
So Jill, I also saw something on your presentation that I had not seen before. I saw some Spanish on one of your slides. So what other languages can Map Habit support with, especially if we have a multilingual, multi-generational family? So say grandma only speaks.
Right. Yeah, so thank you for catching that as well. Yes, so we currently have employees who can cover over 15 languages, and then a process with which we can connect those who maybe don't fall within those 15 languages. Happy to connect you guys with what that list is. And we also do have support now for ASL specifically. So that we can embed ASL translation within videos and audio that are not within the audio, but in the video that's on the within the application itself. So we're ever expanding on those areas. If you have a language we don't cover, we're happy to make that connection. That's again the place where we do some customization. So it's one of those things where, you know, if somebody wants a toileting map that exists and we're going to help you through that process, they need it to be in a specific language, we will help them completely with that, with customizing. And then we have some dual language families that sometimes they want that map in both. That they want it to be in both languages. And we also have had the situation where they want the individual to have it in English and the support to have it in their language, and so the preferred language. And so we have part of it in the two different places. So we really work, you know, our biggest thing is we want to customize this to what is needed by the family and by the individual. So what does that look like for your family? Because we know there is no such thing as one size fits all. And that's been truly for us in our personal situation, the biggest benefit. We had lots and lots of applications over the years that were one size fits all, and they just didn't. And so we didn't use them. They weren't effective. And so being able to customize to what I really truly need for each of my girls who have very different needs was really a game changer for us.
Can you give us a 2-minute rundown of what the cognitive kit is? Because I know that's something that can also be purchased through the waiver.
Yes. And so we've actually changed the name of that. It's now called an Engage Kit, and it's the same concept. So the cognitive kit is really about cognitive engagement. So it's about, it's really expanded to more than that, because we have a fine motor focus and a gross motor. You guys are going to find that every time you think you know what I'm talking about, I'm going to change it on you. But with growth. So we take the feedback from our families, we take the feedback from our users and our individuals, and we go in and we add on and build more. So that Engage Kit now, you can do everything from, you know, it might be puzzles. It might be a puzzle that the map helps you walk through. It might be just cognitive engagement games, some fine motor activities. We've built out things because I know a lot of our individuals are no longer getting some therapies. So we have things built in for them to be able to do some of those therapies that they knew were successful. But we also really want to partner with those professionals in your life who are helping you through those. So our intent is not to replace professional interventions like an OT, but we do have exercises that we know are good standard, good process of gross motor. So things like core skills, crossing the midline, you name it, keeping those places engaged, that all of us need to do. We have things that are built in that very much the individual can do with a family member. So some nice exercises at home, some yoga, and things like that as well. And then that kit that comes along with it are the tools that go along with those maps. So things like if we have a fine motor activity where you're going to pinch putty, we have TheraPutty that's included in that kit. They're used for the TheraPutty. Things like the little pom-poms. You guys remember the little pom-poms from occupational therapy? So those kind of things. So those kits include a pretty large variety of items that we use for that engagement.
There are a few questions, just FYI in the chat, a few more.
I thought I caught them all. Stacy, I dropped in the chat for you, Stacy, the rates that we currently have for Map Habit and the resource guide that's available online where you can find those. And yes, this could be on a tablet. So when you reach out to Map Habit, they can help you with a couple of things. They can walk you through and figure out, maybe you just need the app. Maybe you already have a device that you utilize that you are very familiar with and you just want to install the app onto that device. They can support that. They can provide the device and the app, or they can provide the device, app, and the cognitive kit, which we just spoke about, or they can do a lot of combinations. So it's really best if you have someone who you think would benefit from Map Habit to reach out to the Map Habit team and set up a time with them to have a one-on-one with that individual and their family, so they can really figure out exactly what best what best solutions there are for that. So, but
I
is
see.
there a specific, Jill, platform? Does it run better on Apple versus Samsung versus Fire? Someone asked about, well, what if my tablet's only a Fire tablet?
Right. So we are on lots of different platforms. The tablet that we provide with our funding is an Apple iPad. And so I use mostly iOS in our world, so I'm not going to lie, that's where most of my experience is. I know our occupational therapist who builds a lot of the maps, she has an Android phone, and so it is on the Android. And I think this isn't Android, just the operating system. So you're going to test my technical knowledge over here. But it is available on the Chromebook. We see that mostly with schools who like to have Chromebook application. It is on Fire. It sometimes depends on the age of the Fire device. And so that would be something. So we have a mix of how people use it. We recommend a tablet if you're able to do the waiver support, because then it comes with a data package on the back end, so you can access it anywhere. It also is a little bigger for you to see. But I'll tell you, I have a lot of users who really love to use it on their phone. One of my favorite stories is I have a young man, he's in his 20s. He does laundry on Sundays, and he uses his phone to walk him through his map to do his laundry. And he loves to tell me about how the hot girl, who also does her laundry on Sundays, doesn't know that he's using a map to help him do it. She thinks that he's watching the gram. And so he always cracks me up, because I didn't even know what the gram was when he first told me that story. But I think that reality that for a lot of our individuals, they don't want to appear different. And so sometimes the tablet can make them appear different. Everybody's using a phone. No one knows what you're doing on your phone. But so it does work both places. And then I saw another question here from Stacy about schools. So with the schools, it kind of depends. I'll be honest. It depends on your school. So we have some schools who absolutely will help support the payment of the map habit system, if they see that this is going to be valuable for the individual. I haven't had anybody who was on both systems. I haven't had anybody yet in that situation. Now, I've had individuals who are on a waiver who've invited people from the school to be a part of their circle of support, but I haven't had anybody who's talked to both about splitting funding in any sort of way. So I don't know how that would work. But I do find that if you're working with a school, your kiddo is in a school, and you want us to talk to them, we are happy to do that. So sometimes we just ask you to connect us with maybe who your child's case manager is, or if they know the SPED director. Those are a good way for us to connect. A lot of times they'll refer us over to their district. What am I looking for? IT support. And so it just depends on the size of the district and how they're set up.
Wonderful. Well, Jill, thank you so much for being on our Lunch and Learn today. Just a few quick updates. So March 14th will be our next Lunch and Learn, and Shelley Brown's going to talk about some of the changes that have happened with the home modification waiver since January. So make sure if you haven't caught those changes yet or want to learn more about them, make sure you catch us next month. Our next Technology Explorers meeting is going to be tomorrow. So anyone who's signed up for that, please let me know. Jane, I'm going to just throw out real quick that the FCC has a grant program that individuals who can't afford internet service can apply for to get reduced cost services or even fully paid services. And information about that is on our DMH website. And I will try to find that real quick and drop it in the chat before we end. But a couple of other great resources are the Missouri No Wrong Door and MoDDD and You. So thank you everyone for coming today, and have a wonderful day. Happy Valentine's Day.
Happy Valentine's Day. I love that you love Valentine's Day. That's so cute.